Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. We are on week 3, episode 3 of my 30 books in 30 days challenge, and I may or may not have fallen very much behind. It's the 19th of April and I believe I have actually finished 14 books. So I'm quite behind. If you saw last week's episode, you would know I am still making my way through The Tempest Blade by Danielle L. Jensen, obviously book 6 of the Bridge Kingdom series. I'm loving this. It's going to be a 5-star. I have no doubts about that. I can't tell you anything that's happening because it is the finale in a book series. But it's going to be a 5-star. I know that. I'm not surprised. I fucking love this series so much. What I was surprised by is how big the book was. I was not anticipating it being 740 pages long when I started reading it for this challenge, because I started it on an audiobook. And that obviously doesn't tell you a page count. But I am still working my way through this. I have like 4 hours left on the audiobook, so I'd like to finish it today. I probably won't, but I'd like to. So there's that. I have actually read a book completely, like, whilst not filming. I read Stay for a Spell by Amy Coombs, I believe her name is, which I had the arc of. It came out last week or this week. It's coming out soon. The end of April it will be out. It was okay. I gave it a 3-star. It follows Tandy, who is a princess that gets cursed to stay in a bookshop, but she doesn't really mind that because she loves books, which is fair enough. I also wouldn't care if I got cursed to stay in a bookshop. Yeah, it was fine. It was quite slow. It's cozy fantasy, so you know it's not going to be the quickest moving plot ever, but it was quite slow, so I think a 3-star is fair. In terms of books I'm going to be looking at picking up this week or within the next 3-4 days, to try and catch up, I've got the audiobook of The Everlasting, which is currently the shortest book on my TBR. So once I finish The Tempest Blade, I will move on to that. I do want to read Rider by Jessica Peterson. I think I've said it every video. I want to read that. It's one of my favourite romance series. The Lucky River Ranch series. Cowboys, what's not to love? All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. I am interested in picking that up. But I don't have too many thoughts, to be honest. I think I have another arc due this week. It's something like The Great Big Italian Holiday Mix-Up. It's along those lines. When I pick it up, I'll tell you the actual title. But it's something like that. So that should probably get read soon. But I'm at my limit with arcs at the minute. I really can't be asked to read any of them. And then the effort to have to write a review. I love reading books. I love talking about books. I do not love trying to form cohesive, mature sounding reviews of them, because you've seen my videos hopefully at this point. I'm not the best with words. So yeah, we'll see if I get to that. And then I have so many more arcs that I need to get to as well throughout the next couple months. I think that's it. I don't know what I'm going to pick up right this second next. I kind of just want to finish The Tempest Blade, but I know that's going to keep me behind on my reading because that I obviously can't read something else whilst also listening to the audiobook, so that's 4 hours of not reading another book to knock that off my TBR. So yeah, this was a crazy, chaotic intro, but I think most of my intros for this series have been. I'm going to leave it there. I will catch up with you possibly tomorrow, maybe later tonight if I'm lucky, with some updates. And I guess it will be a surprise to both of us what I end up reading next. I finished The Tempest Blade and I think it's going to consume my thoughts for the rest of my life, to be honest. Surprise to no one, it's a 5-star. It's a 6-star. If I could rate it a 6-star on Goodreads, I would. I was listening to it last night to finish it, and I just kept having to like pause it to process what was going on, because fucking everything was happening all at the same time. But this was a phenomenal ending. This is a good example of when I think a book does need to be 700 pages long. Moving on from that, I have an example of a book where it doesn't need to be 700 pages long. I realised that I had like 2 hours left of the audiobook of Order of the Phoenix, because I started listening to it ages ago. And I was like, that's cheating, but I'm so gonna listen to that right now and count that towards my reading for April. So I did finish Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This was a reread. I love Harry Potter. I love the Order of the Phoenix movie. I think this might be my least favourite Harry Potter book though. It's so long and for no reason. There's no need for it to be this long. Genuinely no need. Like, there's the whole Cho Chang plot. I think that could be condensed. I don't know what else could be taken out of this, but that definitely could be taken out of this and I would not care. I gave this a 4-star. When I reread Harry Potter, my ratings of each book change so drastically based on my experience reading it. Like, the last time I read Order of the Phoenix, I binge read it physically in like 3 days because I was annotating a copy for my friend. So when I did that, because I consumed it really quickly, I was like, yes, this is amazing, 5-star. But because this took me forever, it's a 4-star, but the ending still gets me every single fucking time. Every single time. And this book makes me really, really appreciate Neville as a character. I mean, spoilers if you haven't read Order of the Phoenix. Neville and how heroic he is and how loyal he is to Harry in the Ministry of Magic genuinely made me tear up because he's so fucking sweet. I just fucking I love Neville. I love the characters in Harry Potter so much. I do get emotional thinking about them. I can't even lie. But this is probably a 4-star. It's probably my least favourite Harry Potter book. And it definitely doesn't need to be 700 pages long. So, but I did finish that. Which brings us up to 16 books read total for this month. It is now the 20th, which means I'm 4 books behind. So I'm now dual wielding books again. I started, and this is on Goodreads, so it counts as my physical TBR. I started the All the Young Dudes fanfiction book 2, which is years 5 through 7. It's slow moving. I need to get back into it because I read the first one ages ago, like literally months ago. But I do enjoy this. Obviously, fanfiction I think is a positive way to consume Harry Potter media that doesn't give She Who Must Not Be Named money. So I don't know where I stand on talking about this on my channel, but I'm reading this. If you don't know, All the Young Dudes is a fanfiction that follows Harry's parents' generation. I mean, it's prolific. This is maybe, other than Manacled, I'd say this is probably like the most famous Harry Potter fanfiction. It's on AO3 still, so I'm reading it on my phone. But I do have a physical copy because I loved the covers. I mean, Remus and Sirius are 2 of my favourite characters anyway, and this is just gorgeous. But we follow the story in Remus Lupin's point of view. Obviously, he is a werewolf, so we're following his struggles with that. In this one specifically, and I don't think this is a spoiler, because if you've read or watched Harry Potter, you know this anyway, but just err on the side of caution if you haven't read or watched Harry Potter. I've just got to the bit where James, Sirius and Peter transform into Animagus to be with Remus when he is transformed into a werewolf. So that was really sweet to read, and this story takes the approach that Remus is gay and has a crush on Sirius, which I do like that ship, okay? I do like it. I'm not keen on how it's being done in this, because in my brain, Sirius Black is the gay uncle. He's the gunkle. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not very far into it. I'm maybe like 40 pages in, but I'm gonna try and finish it for this video. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that's what I'm currently reading. And I am about to start the audiobook because it's quite short, of The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I've heard good things about this. I have a very cool special edition. I love the sprayed edge on this one, but I do not like the cover because there is an eye on it and that creeps me out. I don't know anything about this. I know it's fantasy, that's funny. All of the books that I'm reading this video are fantasy. But yeah, I'm gonna start the audiobook. I'm listening on 2x speed, so it's like 6 hours maybe, so I should get a good chunk of the way through this today because I'm about to sit and play my video game for a couple hours, and we'll see if I can give a good update on what this is about when I have started it. I feel like this update's been all over the place, but that's how I feel right now, so it's a good representation of my brain. But I will probably update you tomorrow on how far I get into The Everlasting. It is the 21st now, so I think I have done a clip yesterday. I ended up DNFing The Everlasting. I got to page 111, which is like the first part of the book. It's like broken up into 5, I think, chunks, 4 or 5 chunks. I just thought the main character was a bit creepy. We follow Owen, who I think he's like a researcher or something, and he gets sent back in time to the time of, what's the official name? Sir Una Everlasting, who is the greatest hero, and he is like absolutely obsessed with her to a point that I don't think it's romantic anymore. I think that's creepy. It was just giving creepy vibes. So yeah, I didn't enjoy the 111 pages of this I read, so I will DNF this, and it is already up on my Vinted, ready to get rid of. So there's that one. Then I ended up reading today and finishing today The Unwilling +1 by Effie Campbell. I really like this one. On the front it says a fake boyfriend, a killer family, and a deadly wedding. Already intrigued. But this follows Maggie, whose family are in the business of contract killing, and she doesn't want to be involved at all, doesn't want to do it. But she feels a lot of pressure from her family to do that, and they also are trying to pressure her into marrying this guy whose family also does contract killing, and he's a horrible person. So when her dad is getting married, she decides to kidnap her neighbor and have him be her fake boyfriend for the wedding. I loved that. That was great. That to me was not creepy, whereas this very much was. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was quick, it was easy. I really liked Maggie as a character. I absolutely loved Roman, the love interest, as a character as well. We get both point of views. I loved how Roman went from what the actual fuck is wrong with you, why have you kidnapped me, to yeah, I'd kill someone for you. I loved that. That was brilliant. It was funny. It was so great. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I still don't know what I'm gonna actually pick up next. My gut is telling me to read Rider by Jessica Peterson, but my gut has been telling me that for 3 weeks and I still haven't picked it up. So we'll see. I'm looking at my stack over there of books to pick up. I don't know what I'm gonna read. This is such an inconvenient problem to have. But I will pick something, I'm sure, and I will get back to you tomorrow with some updates. I've decided I'm just going to keep this going until I've caught up, and then hopefully the final episode of this will just be me finishing the challenge. So we'll see. It is currently the 23rd of April, and whilst I'm still 1 book behind, I am pretty much up to date now because I did a lot of reading of little novellas today. So it's time to close out this video so I can start next week's, and that is going to be an interesting one because a lot of these books I don't have physically. So I started with Stay for a Spell, the arc I had by Amy Coombs. I gave that one a, what did I even give it, 3 star? It just wasn't for me. Then some other books I don't have to hand. The Everlasting, which I DNF'd to 111 pages, not for me again. Then the novellas that I've read today are all of the like Amazon original sets they do with romance authors. So I read The Full Risk by Abby Jimenez, which I gave a 4-star. That one was really cute. It's about two neighbours that basically get stuck in their apartments because the stairs are taken out by accident. It was really cute. I would have loved for that to be a full-length book. I think that would be so much fun. And then I read Time Will Tell by Hannah Bonham Young. Again, real cute. It was a lot of emailing, which I quite like because I listened to it as an audiobook. I always find that really fun. And that was about a girl who gets gets given a letter from her late grandma, basically saying, look, I'm a lesbian. Here's the name of the lady that I was in love with. We had a time capsule that we buried together. Go find it. And she gets in touch with this other lady's grandson who lives in England, and she goes to visit him. So cute. That was another 4-star. And then I've just finished Death to Valentine's Day by Catherine Cowles. It was fun. I could see the vision, but the ending was just a little bit crazy for me. So that one's a 3-star. I did enjoy it, but it was a bit much. Then the books that I do have to hand, I obviously finished The Tempest Blade, which was a 5-star. No questions needed. Then I did finish the audiobook of Order of the Phoenix, which was a 4-star and a reread. Then I have got The Unwilling +1 by Effie Campbell, which was a 4-star. I do recommend this one. It was really fun and so quick. And then another book I finished today, which is Rider by Jessica Peterson. I finally got to it, and this was a 4-star as well. Was it a 4-star? I think it was a 4-star. I just didn't gel with like the pace, not even the pacing. There was a lot of repetition, a lot of Billy, the main girlie, being like, oh, I don't have any friends, I don't have any friends, oh, I don't have any friends. Which just got irritating after a while. Like, I get it, girl, go find some friends. You know, there was recap of the last 4 books, which I'm sure there was recap in the other books, but it wasn't as noticeable as it was in this one. Yeah, there were just like a few bits that were just a bit draggy, but I did still like it. It was fine for an ending of a series. There was a lot of setup for Jessica Peterson's new series, which is starting later this year. So yeah, probably my least favourite in the series overall. If I had to rank them, I think Sawyer is my favourite, then Wyatt, Cash, Duke, and then Ryder. It's always a shame when the series ends on my least favourite, but we live and we learn. So that is it for this week's video. I don't really know how many books I read for this. Let's count. Tempest Blade, Stay for a Spell, Order of the Phoenix, Everlasting, Unwilling +1, Rider, The Full Risk, Time Will Tell, and Death to Valentine's Day. So I read 9 books in just over a week. So I'm quite proud of that. I will be back next week with the final instalment of 30 books in 30 days. And I keep saying it, guys, but I think I'm going to do it. I think it's possible if I catch up, because I'm going to do another novella, I think, probably tomorrow. Because I found a really cool one. I can't remember what it's called, but I found it. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to read that tomorrow. And then it's just 1 book a day for the rest of the month. I can do that. That's achievable. So with that said, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!